topics, people. I'm gonna go ahead and go back to the top, and then I'm gonna go ahead and cover and look at some of these comments, and we're gonna dive right on in it. I just always been, man, what's that's what I was probably gonna do. I guess y'all speaking among each other. What's up, Ali? The most anticipated episode was season 5, episode 1, when Dre shot Ghost and Kanan saved Ghost's life. I don't even know how you can make that claim, DeMarcus, but I'm going to definitely have that conversation with you. What's good, Ali? Okay. I'll say Power Book 2, episode Ghost, episode 310 for me was most anticipated. Okay, Ghost, and I'm gonna definitely get back to you and ask you why you feel that way. So go ahead and get your answer ready. I seen some people say Ghost was the real villain. Hey, we're gonna deal with that when we get to the bottom too. Because hey, maybe Ghost was the real villain. I believe they took Burns. I mean, it took turns being the villain. So you're saying Ghost? Are you implying that Ghost and Tasha were taking turns being the villain? I mean, there's other people that were the villain people. You can make a claim for someone else. Like, keep in mind that we do got an ugly ass nigga named Kanan that's out there. But anyways, you said that's how I feel, Hezekiah. Are you agreeing with Ghost was the villain? The most anticipated episode was season 4, episode 10, when we were introduced to Branford Frady. Now that is a very strong argument there. I'll give you that one. I'm gonna come back to it. You said Kanan was the victim? That is crazy. That is crazy. Kanan himself said, I was never innocent. You need it. In fact, I just watched that episode today. Episode 406, when Ghost was saying, come on, Kay. We was kids. Crazy fucking kids trying to make moves. We were innocent. I was never innocent. You need it. Oh boy. So I don't know if you can make that claim, saying that he was the victim, love. But also, hey, big shout out to you, Ali. I did not know you joined the membership. I just seen that giant today when I was looking at my studio, and it said, hold on. I noticed that you had a special icon by your name. And I said, hold up. She joined the membership. So special shout out to you. Much love to you, Queen. Thank you for joining the membership. Just wanted to give you a shout out because I noticed that. But anyways, you said Dre was the villain. That's a strong argument too, because that man was ugly as hell. Ghost, Tasha, Kanan, Tommy, Tariq. Is that your order as far as the villains, I'm guessing? Kanan, the real villain. Tasha, a secondary villain. You can make that, you can definitely make that case. Kanan wasn't a villain, he just wanted revenge. That's a villain, nigga. What are you talking about? The most anticipated OG Power episode for me was the finale. So, Sakari, let me get some clarification. Are you speaking of episode 610? No one can stop me, or are you speaking of 615? What's the name of it? Exactly as we planned. Just seen a nigga wearing a Bomb Simmons jersey. That's random, but it is crazy. Who wears that? What's up, Marcus? Jay was the biggest villain. Two things can be true, Marcus. Tommy and Ghost, the real villain in Power. Anybody that killed their own son in cold blood is a villain. Facts. Exactly. Facts. There's no way you can not say this nigga's not a villain. My most anticipated episode was the one after Tommy killed Angela. I thought Ghost was gonna kill him for real. Okay, so you're talking about 615. Got it. Okay, so let's go ahead and dive in a little further on some of these claims, right? So I'm gonna go since I just brought yours up. Let's go ahead and deal with 615. 615 um actually is a pretty strong argument because everybody wanted to know who shot Ghost. You know what I'm saying? But the only thing I will say about that kind of diminish the the anticipation for that particular episode was, if you remember, it got leaked before it actually aired. But yeah, a lot of folks was wondering, you know, who shot him. Was he actually dead? And then actually we kind of didn't even get the actual answer to that because he we still making arguments and claims that he's alive still to this day. So that's a very strong argument. The fact that you don't even know the answer, real answer to that episode. So that's still in the wind now. Uh, you said you can't fix this, so you're referring to episode 410, right after Angela was there. So basically, right after 409, when Raina was shot, you're saying that you were very much eager to see the aftermath of what Ghost and Tasha and Tommy, of course, were going to do about the death of Raina. I must say, I remember me during that time was pretty excited that the actual death of Raina got spoiled for me because somebody leaked it. But yeah, I remember I actually watched episode 410 a lot of times. Like, in fact, that may have been my most watched finale of all time with Power. So I think that's actually another really good one. Let's see what else I've seen up in here. As far as the anticipated um, episodes, I think that was it. And then, of course, we got the one with Breeze, which I think probably is the actual answer for me. That's probably my pick. How am I talking crazy right there? No, Marvin wasn't really a villain. I mean, you got to think about Marvin did what he did because Jukebox spit in his face. You got to remember that. She spit in his face, and after she spit in his face, he slapped her, and I think that slap was warranted. That's some of the worst thing you can do is spit in somebody's face. So it's not like he just did that out of nowhere. Most anticipated episode was Power Book 2, episode 405. Hey, that's up there, Hezekiah. I just thought about that. That's definitely up there because that's the episode, we found out that, Tariq was wearing the same attire as Ghost at the club. So a lot of people were anxious and was thinking that Ghost would return possibly that episode. But hey, I'm gonna throw you a curveball. How about episode 410, same season? Because keep in mind, people was like, with this being the last season of Ghost, people was like, Ghost might return in the end, and then it ends on a cliffhanger. I mean, of course, it ended up not happening, but a lot of people were pretty excited. There was a lot of YouTubers making videos about the possibility of it, including myself. So, you that's a 410 is that actually got to be up there too. But like I said, to me, I think my pick is still stand. We're gonna have to go with 410 of Raising Kanan because That is the episode we finally got the long waited Breeze. I mean, let's be real. We've been talking about Breeze for over 11 years now. So over a decade, we have been waiting for Breeze. Everybody's talked about him. Everybody in their mama on the Power Universe has been Breeze, according to the fans. Unique is Breeze. Stephanie is Breeze. Famous is Breeze. Marvin is Breeze. Breeze don't exist. Breeze is, and we finally get him. You know what I'm saying? Akbar is Breeze. Everybody in their mama done became Breeze. And then we finally get him. And this nigga name is Branford Frady, dressed like Cole from Martin. So I gotta say, I think the answer for me is gotta be 410, Raising Kanan. Now but actually we can make a stronger claim about an episode that hasn't even aired yet. You know what I'm saying? We can make a pretty strong claim for episode 501 of Raising Kanan because now we want to see Breeze in action. We don't heard some of the stories about the nigga, heard of him and all that, but never actually seen him do anything. All we got in 410 is an introduction. So we get to see, you know what I'm saying, what he's like, what his personality like, possibly get that well anticipated, you know, episode of him watching Jeopardy. Finally get to see him doing that, having the same routine. And then on top of that, we get to find out whether or not uh we get to find out whether or not Rock is actually dead or not. So, I think that one is also a very highly anticipated episode, but it is derived from the episode 410. So for me, 410 is the answer. All right. The argument for Ghost was the real villain is based on several characters, flaws, and actions that drive the plot conflicts. On both Ghost power to the can't fix this too. Hold on, so you're referring to, oh yeah, I can't fix this and you can't fix this. I just thought about it. So you're talking about on Ghost, I can't fix this, which is the episode Diana lost the baby and ended up taking out Felicia. Ghost can only still be alive if he's in a wheelchair. I don't know. Therapy, I mean, look how many years it's been. That boy could have went through some very intense therapy and got back to walking. We all thought Ghost was gonna pop up on Tariq at Truth somehow. Yeah, a lot of people were saying that. You showed all he showed all they tried to do still led to tragedy for Ghost slash Tasha and Tariq slash Diana. Time repeats. Well, you actually trying to make a strong argument now. Tariq the real villain. Ghost should have gave him a dirt day. We gonna get to that. And that's actually crazy that you might actually have a point on that. I think he talking about me talking crazy because I said book 2, episode 405 was the most anticipated. Oh. Finding out the breeze was Cole Brown was the most disappointed episode. Hey, you so the most disappointing and the most anticipated came both align with the same thing? Because you still was anticipating on saying them. It's just when you did say them, it was what you thought. She said, "Who the fuck is Cole Brown?" From Martin, there. I'm still disappointed in that introduction. I don't know why y'all so against that introduction. I wasn't too mad about it. the fixed episodes unraveled Ghost and Tasha, but in book two, I mean in Ghost book, it it bonded Diana and Tariq. True, never really looked at it from that perspective, but yeah, yeah, I didn't think Branford was too bad. Kanan killed an old lady for Bree's old apartment. That had to make him a villain. Exactly. That's another very strong claim. That man ignorant as hell. I don't know what y'all talking about. Dre was a bigger villain than Kanan. Dre had the scrap on his mother. He did do that, but we just saw in Raising Kanan that Kanan had a scrap on his mother and allegedly shot her. So what are we talking about? He did stab Father Callahan too, though. The mind ignorant as hell for that. No cap. Dre used his buddy as a human shield. Yeah, he did that. That mind was ignorant. Gotta keep it 100. That mind was ignorant. Hmm. It's funny how this supposed to be the same Kanan in book three that loved his grandma. Hey, it would make sense if that lady turned out to be Pop a little bit though, right? Jay was not a bigger villain than Kanan. Probably not, but the Marcus always want to go against the grain. Yeah, I agree. 100%. Breeze better bring it. Like they better not disappoint us with that. Breeze will be in the action during season 5 of Raising Canaan and in audience. Absolutely, he has to be. Now, most anticipated gonna be when we think Tommy and James gonna be introduced in Raising Canaan and Forrest. If we think Ghost gonna pop up on Tommy, yeah. If it's ever, which I would say absolutely without a doubt, there is going to be episodes that's gonna make it. Even if Ghost doesn't show up in Force, they're definitely gonna write it to make it look like he may show up. They're gonna do that shit. So I can agree with that. And in my opinion, I think the only episode or thing that can possibly trump the Breeze situation, because we waited on Breeze for so long, is Ghost resurfacing. To me, that's the only thing that can trump it because Ghost is the biggest character of the franchise. And of course, after us having have seen him for now going on 6 years, for him to finally return would be amazing. So it absolutely would trump Breeze finally showing up. And I told y'all, in my opinion, that's what I think they was gonna do. I'm halfway there already. I said they was gonna give us Breeze this year. They did. And I said, Force, they're gonna drop Ghost. Let's see. Big Bad Wolf Dre was shaking every time Kanan came around. That's a fact. Yeah, that's crazy. He had a serious path to darkness. Dre eliminated Donovan in front of heaven was, bruh. I ain't gonna lie to y'all though. The more DeMarcus is talking, the more he's strengthening his argument. Cause Dre was absolutely ignorant as hell, bro. He snaked Julio. The man did hold a gun to his mama. He actually threw his baby mama. Keep this in mind, y'all. He threw his baby mama under the bus too. Because remember when he first was supposed to went into Witset, he told them, I don't need the baby mama. I just need my daughter. So that nigga was going to leave her behind. Stats and Pod's introduction to Kanan introduced Kanan to their nephew Breeze. This is a pivotal moment as Breeze's character familiar to Power fans who eventually partnered with Kanan to build a drug empire in 410. Thanks for that synopsis, nigga. What's up, Ratsu? All these episodes anticipated. No, not all of them. Kanan killed an old woman and was holding Dre's baby. Threatening His ex man didn't do that. That mind is not dead, bro. We ain't accepting that. At least I'm not. The sins of the blood line never get happy ended. They still mad is not unique. I just thought of I just thought our first scene of Breeze would be something legendary or classic. That's all. I think he'll kill the role. I didn't care who Breeze was. Way too much hype behind the name for somebody we never seen before. The younger generation see the real better to me. Okay. If Shamik Moore doesn't do a good job, it's Breeze. It's the biggest fumble. I agree. If that do happen, that will be the biggest fumble. And I honestly, I don't even think you can make an argument about it. I like the Breeze introduction. I know the actor is going to kill the role in the upcoming season of Raising Kanan. Yeah, like I was cool with the introduction, and I absolutely agreed. I think he will kill the role. I would be highly disappointed if he didn't. Like I would be kind of shocked, to be honest with you. Well, I attempt to salvage her business and family, however he confident. Her confident with unique escalates with unique. Oh man, the writers might fumble him on purpose. Support. They better not do that shit. I like Bree's introduction as well. Keep us as viewers and fans suspenseful of his character. I can agree with that a lot, bro. And I think that's what the goal of the writers were. That's the goal that they had. They thought, let's give them an introduction, give you a few, minor details about him to have you still wondering who is he. Okay, now we see him. We know his name. We know he's, you know, the nephew of Snaps and Pop. But what else about him? You know what I'm saying? It makes you a little bit more anxious to watch the next episode to really figure out who his character is. Who is he for real? Because we know we got Kanan's, version of him of how he was, what I'm saying. And I think the thing that's standing out the most that folks are, sticking with that really making us curious is the saying that he was strong but not smart. And then, of course, you got Snaps who introduced him as a very brilliant person, right? So we're curious of like how that worked out because one saying he wasn't smart and basically his Snaps is saying he's one of the smartest person you'll ever meet. So it's going to be interesting to see how the writers spin it and write it out to make both of the situations be true. Yeah, he definitely sent Tariq to die as well. Dre did that as well. Dre snitched on Cristobal and Alicia because he was jealous. He wasn't Alicia Jimenez number two anymore and didn't get to smash her himself. Yeah, he did that. That mind did a lot of bad shit, bro. Like he ambushed Ghost, sent Ghost and Tommy to a trap. The mind was ugly, bro. The mind absolutely was ugly. Y'all got it. I don't know. But we gonna get, like I said, we gonna get there to the villain part. We ain't quite made it there yet. Breeze was Kanan's first mentor and drug. Okay, this nigga. Dre was a prodigy of Kanan and Ghost. He was. He like he said, he learned from the best. He learned from both being a super savage from Kanan, I guess, and how to finesse the game with like just like um Ghost Well, Kanan was a major finesser too. So, which, but speaking of which,